last ones to fly out of the three. When they used to do the fully armed up, and they used to do the mock takeoff with the bomber, the whole ground used to reverberate, you know. They used to do a quick takeoff from Four Fingers at the end of the runway, and they had rapid air start. They had air cylinders charged up to £2,000, and they pressed this bloody button and boom, boom, boom.
I think.
Well, it's all lift, you see. In fact, when they come into land, they find out it's a hard job to land them because there's so much lift.
Yeah.
Well, it's complete. It's just a flying wing, really.
Yeah.
When I was on 101, they tested the engines for Concorde on the Vulcans. You know,
right,
it was a civilian Vulcan, really.
Yeah.
I think there were Conways.
That was a shame that went down, wasn't it, really?
Well, somebody's talking about getting one flying again.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're that expensive. These, they burn 4 gallons a minute in cruise, each engine, you know, main of half-tank, like paraffin. They were mucky, like, they throw out all sorts of shite at the back. I know all aircraft do. I don't know what they're worried about cars for.
Oh no,
they go to peace conferences, burn tons of bloody fuel, and it's just a big blow-up, isn't it? And they worry about bloody cars. Oh, these are Mark 2s, the Mark 1s had longer undercarriages.
Was you an actual flyer then, or part of the...
No, I was an engineer.
Engineer, yeah.
Well, I've flown on them. I've been to America on the Vulcan. We fly at 55,000 feet, like, you know, so you're above the weather, it's a dead spot steady in the cabin. And it's all nothing to reach, and like, you know, like the youngsters with Gary Powell. The Russians managed it, didn't they? Yeah, well, it's progress. I mean, you know, that they were built to carry the ultimate weapon, like the H1. But in those days, it was really big things. Like now, to get one size of a No, they weren't flying. It's a bomber.
Is it? I was just about to ask, is it?
Martin River, yeah. He did it by default, like he was reserved. The primary aircraft that went couldn't pressurise, so it turned back and he went. It was just upon him.
Well, I suppose he's gone through the right training for it, then.
All those hours, and when he come back at 2 in the morning, used to get a debrief. You know, all the ground crew sit down with the air crew.
See what was
all the problems, all the snaps.
Yeah.
And just as they were leaving, about 2:30 off the debrief, the NAF Potter probably say, oh, hello Chief, see that. We can't go back. The road they pulled the brakes in.
Yeah.
It took ages to move back.
I bet you're waiting.
We've got a long way to taxi down through the runway.
And if you go to the end, you'll be well before you get through, don't you?
Oh yeah, there's plenty left, but sometimes we make them go through the runway, not
I suppose when it's been its last trip out, I don't think to the rules.
Like I say, when we come back, we'll go this way. He's milking a taxi, he's a lot faster than that.
This is last time, he will, won't it? That's happening again.
Yeah.
It's a very distinct smell of that, isn't it?
Yeah, pure paraffin. That was all heaters used out of that.
Yeah.
It's also, the engines were oil burners, like, you know,
Yeah.
so you get that smell as well. Most of the aircraft now recirculating oil, you know, they don't burn.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, maybe not. Nobody knows it. The only trouble with here, it'll be off way up there, like, you know,
Yeah, it will.
unless he summons along for a bit.
Very important because she'll be laid to rest here, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it was here, the conversion unit was here, like, you know, before my time, like, and so yeah, it's fitting that it's sort of resting around there. I think they're going to make a bit, they've made the business out of it anyway.
Yeah.
I think they'll do taxi.
Do you think he's ready for going out?
He's
Yeah.
going up, yeah.
Is he going out?
Yeah.
Alright.
It certainly is.
I should have done that at the weekend, better weather. Very good, she's been out today. Dashed upstairs. I used to watch ITV this morning, and I walked up. Well, I must confess, last night I had a few beers and a couple of slow gins. I stopped and watched talked about racing. I see. Last night,
Fiona, it's a beautiful aircraft, and you may be deceived in thinking that with its RAF colours and its camouflage that it's still part of some RAF setup. It isn't. It's nothing to do with the RAF anymore. It's all to do with a charitable trust that has kept this aeroplane flying for the last 8 years. And the real legacy is here in the old bomb bay. This used to carry a nuclear bomb. All it carries now are the names of the thousands of people who've chipped in money over the years to keep this aircraft flying because they love it so much. For almost 8 years, this plane has wowed crowds at air shows across Britain. They came to see the Vulcan's fine lines and hear its unique howling noise. This plane enthralls people and makes grown men cry. Those in the know call it the Vulcan effect.
One gentleman stated that he thinks he must have got some grit in his eyes because his eyes were running so much. It all means something when you stand there and you look at the crowd, and especially the children. Do you see this look on their face? Well, starstruck, I suppose.
Britain's revolutionary V-bomber goes into service with...
The RAF used to have dozens of these Cold War delta-winged giants. They carried nuclear bombs and had the power to kill millions of people. But its most famous mission was in the Falklands War in 1982, when this man, Martin Withers, was the pilot.
Right, what you've got here is the...
Years later, he became the chief pilot of this flying relic.
Everybody loves it for a variety of reasons. I mean, it's so graceful, so beautiful, and yet so powerful and manoeuvrable. For me, this is a lot of what gives us the pleasure of flying it.
But from the end of this month, this plane will never be seen in the sky again. The professional and technical support is no longer available to underwrite her safety. It's not the end of the story, though.
The aircraft will be retained in running order. We will start her up, we will taxi her, and she is destined to be the centrepiece of a new activity to inspire the young.
Very soon it will land for the last time. The people's plane, crowd-funded by thousands of individuals who just love to see her fly.
It last saw conflict more than 30 years ago, but the final appearance of the Vulcan Bomber over Northamptonshire today was no less stealthy. Vulcan XH558 creates such a stir whenever it takes to the skies that this visit was strictly covert. It didn't stop word getting out among its fans, though.
Roads all around this area are full of people trying to catch the last chance, one and only chance to see it in the air.
We've only seen it in the distance so far. We're waiting and hoping that it'll come over us.
We shall miss it. We really will miss it, because it was based at Bruntingthorpe.
And it didn't disappoint, flying in formation alongside a wartime Spitfire and the Blades aerobatic display team.
It's a huge privilege to fly on the Vulcan at any time, alongside the Vulcan at any time, but to do so on its very last flight, or one of its last flights, is just something we'll look back on in a few years' time and go, wow, I was there for that one of those last flights. It's an amazing experience, and I'm glad to have been part of it.
It was in 1952 that the Vulcan first took to the skies, a symbol of British military might during the Cold War.
The Vulcan Bomber, the all-British delta-wing aircraft that sets the shape of the planes of tomorrow.
After withdrawal from service, it spent retirement at Bruntingthorpe near Market Harborough, before the Vulcan to the Sky Trust managed to raise enough money to get it flying again. Now, though, it's become too difficult to maintain.
One has to be philosophical, but we don't want to be philosophical. We knew it had a limited life. Unfortunately, the life's been cut short, fractionally shorter than we would have liked, because we haven't got the support any longer of these major engineering companies.
Today, one former pilot was among those saying farewell.
I think they should just keep it flying. It's such an iconic aeroplane that the world owes it a great debt, because, as you know, it was the forefront of the Cold War, and hopefully it kept the world a safe place for at least 20 years that it was flying.
Some say this was the RAF's finest machine, the distinctive roar from its 4 Rolls-Royce engines heralding its presence. Within a few weeks, though, they will fall silent for the last time, and those who see it in future will have to imagine the glory of its airborne days.